Chrissy Seaton. There's no logic in stupidity. And at some stage or another in our life, we've all succumbed to that moment of stupidity. And as we would know, it doesn't usually end well. The results can sometimes be minor through to quite devastating. We may take a risky climb up a tree, fall, break our arm. It could be an alcoholic who decides he'll take that one drink because he can do it or she can do it, and it results in devastation. Or an ex-smoker decides, oh, I'll just have one cigarette. What's the harm? It can't hurt. I can stop at any time. And the next thing, they're back smoking. So there are varying degrees of when we have these moments of stupidity, where we let all logic just disappear from the scene. This what the heck, what's the harm, is not a good attitude to have. And what makes that happen? Why do we have those lapses of sanity, so to speak, or take risks that we shouldn't do, expose ourselves to things that we shouldn't? Well, it's called the evil inclination. We all have it. It's there. It's inbuilt. The Hebrew word for it is Yetzer Hara. And that evil inclination, or that Yetzer Hara, is sitting there on your shoulder, whispering in your ear, and it eventually convinces us or removes our focus away from the divine and switches the focus to things of this world. And the temptations that go with it, there's a sense of ego, an attitude of arrogance. I can do this, it's not going to affect me. I'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. So what's happening is the Yetzer Hara is luring you, and you're lured by things such as situations, places, people, opportunities. Oh, too good an opportunity to miss, I've got to do this. But you know there might be something a bit dodgy going on. And the list goes on. Now, if that Yetzer Hara is left sitting there, whispering in your ear and goes unchecked, the Yetzer Hara will progressively influence you. And eventually, it actually rules over our lives in such a way that logic, reason, and our very common sense no longer prevails in decisions we're making or actions we're taking. And that continues on in our day-to-day life, living, and suddenly each day becomes about me. It's about me. So the important thing to realise is that we have to take control. We can't be fooled by the Yetzer Hara, because it's appealing to our ego. That's what it's doing. It's patting up our ego. And there is absolutely no benefit or spiritual gain in exposure or self-testing. Just this once won't hurt. I'll never do it again. All that is doing is just leading you further and further down that path to answer to the will of the Yetzer Hara. It becomes easier. You don't even think twice about it anymore. And this sort of reckless and cocky behaviour, it destroys our ethics, it destroys our principles, destroys our standards, and most of all, it destroys our relationship with Hashem, our Divine Father. So how do we deal with the Yetzer Hara? How do we subjugate it and clamp down on it? Well, first of all, we have to understand or to know how it manifests in your life, and that'll be different for every person. So you need to know what its tricks are, its triggers, and certainly its traps. That's getting to know how it manifests in your life. I call those things the 3 T's. And then the first thing is that once you're conscious of it, I'm not going to expose myself to that no matter what. I've got to understand that that's not the divine will for me. I'm not doing what I should be doing. And you put that distance between yourself and the traps, and then you focus and concentrate on the divine. That is, you focus on Hashem's encompassing presence in your life, and that's 24/7. It never stops. And Hashem's divine purpose for your existence is what your energy and attention needs to be focused on. Hashem just didn't decide to create you and think, oh, I'll find out what to do with it later, you know, I'll think of something. No, from the moment you were conceived, your purpose and role for the divine was already sealed. And that's what we're here to do. So that purpose of our existence, we must hold paramount in our mind. And at the same time, we've got to tell the Yetzer Hara to go away. It's not going to influence your life. So how do we do that? How do we actually do that? Well, I have a word that I use, and it's something I've employed in my mind and my thoughts and plans many times. And so I say that the first step then, once you've identified the pitfalls, etc., is that you have to begin to snuggle, yes, snuggle closer to Hashem. Now, when you snuggle closer, that snuggling closer to Hashem is automatically you're recoiling the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara. You're recoiling from it. You're putting distance between you and it, and you are drawing closer and snuggling tighter to Hashem. And that snuggling, it means that the actual Yetzer Hara is rendered powerless. So you've subjugated it, you've clamped down on it, it's lost its hold over you. And that is through that continual closeness to Hashem, that snuggling effect, that coming into his protective guidance, your prayer pathways with Hashem, your association with Hashem. Everything you do in your day is with joy because you're giving it to Hashem. So that tells the Yetzer Hara, well, you have no effect on me. You're not going to tempt me again. So I want you to think about the experience of snuggling. I'm sure you've all had that, where you've snuggled with your parents or grandparents on the couch or an older sibling, and it's a very safe, comfortable feeling, isn't it? No matter what happens, you know you're safe, you're loved, and you'll be protected, and it's just a very good, wholesome feeling. So remember those occasions, and now you have to apply that to how you're going to be with Hashem. You're going to snuggle with Hashem continually. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, press the bell to be notified when there's a new video, and please leave a comment if you would like to. And I want you to remember, snuggling to Hashem. That is the answer to everything. Please take care and God bless.